This is Chris Smith from Natimuk in Western Victoria. He's an innovative cropper and grazier who uses biological systems to drive his production, lower his costs and increase resilience of his property. I did a major story on Chris just last weekend and there's a link to that at the end of this video. But this video is a bit different. This is a conversation with Chris on why he reckons more people don't move across to biological systems, and he's got a couple of ideas on how we can make that pivot work for us. So without further ado, let's get some amazing insights from Chris. Chris, what inspires me most about you is that you are so far down the journey, but there are other people who are just starting out, who might be just taking baby steps and having a look at maybe doing something different on one paddock. Everyone's different, aren't they? Everyone's at a different spot.
Like it's the process of life really is a journey, and farming is exactly that. Like often farmers are very invested emotionally and connected to the land, and have a belief system that this is the way farming should happen, and probably my father would fall into that. But you know, like it's to be fair, like everyone's trying to do their best.
They are.
You know, with the information
that
everyone with the information they have at hand. You know, everyone's trying to grow good food. You know, and not harm their animals or their land, but maybe it's an education piece, you know, that's just missing, or you know, there might be just a window of opportunity where, you know, they haven't experienced that they need a solution, you know, and it's where those two can coincide, then the solution might, you know, change the trajectory of their business. Sometimes it doesn't take much. What was it that gave you time for pause, that made you start thinking, or have you always wanted to do things differently? No, like I enjoyed the system. Like I guess the thing is that a lot of farming, you find a system, you know, you want a prescription system, you know, you plug in certain fertilizers and you do this now, and it's sort of like a program. And you forget that it's actually a biological system, and the biology is not prescriptive. So what was it that woke you up to that, or that got you thinking that way? Woke you up probably a little bit too hard. It would be a wake up. You know, just the disappointment in probably soil health is declining. Right. So you saw obvious signs of degradation. You know, and always having to put more on. Farming, more on. That's what they often hear. More on farming. But I don't like calling. No. Because there's some very smart people doing that. There's really innovative guys doing stuff that's amazing, you know, and adapting, and they're at the thin edge of the wedge. Yes. You know, they're pushing systems as far as they'll go. That's right. And you know, got the metrics, doing the measurements, which is fantastic. You know, and you can't lose sight. You're still working with the biological system, you know. And if you can drive biology to be in working conjunction with your goals and aspirations for your farm, you know, rather than fighting against it, you know, and it could be some pluses for the farming industry to say, right, well, let's have a look at some. You know, it's driving efficiencies. You know, you're putting all these nutrients out there. Is there some way to ensure that you get more absorbed, more efficient, more, you know, and I guess there's going to be more accountability for that sort of thing going forward. That is coming, absolutely. But I think it's also a great opportunity for those people who are pushing things to their limits and who are pushing things to the edge to maybe change direction and see what they can do with biology and push that to the edge and push that to the limit. Well, when nitrogen becomes inexpensive per unit, as it has, you know, it's been $1,200 a tonne, you know, so you know that it starts to really highlight the cost of N. You know, and what sources of N are really available, an alternative to urea, you know, and so I think there's been that's things like that where your inputs go up you think, well, what are we really achieving by putting out so much of it? Are we getting efficiency in absorption by the plant? You know what, and you know what's it damaging to the environment, damaging to the soil in the same process. Anyway, I think yeah, that cost price squeeze really can sharpen people's focus, you know.
Yeah, time for change.
Can drive change, an opportunity. That's your little window. There might be a solution out there that could just change how you access that nutrients, you know. Maybe you can work with biology, work with the soil, work with what the microbes and soil life have to offer rather than fighting against it. You know, and you can link that up with conventional farming, I believe, you know, like you just probably just be more conservative maybe, or allow biology to do its work. Yeah, but the thing is, you have to find something that works in your soil type, your environment, you know, like you need to look at the suite of options there are and say, well, what's going to work in my soil type? What are my physical constraints? What are
my systemic constraints?
Yeah. You know, and you know, so you can't prescribe that you should be doing this and this, you know, and then but there's,
it's a mistake that people make. They think everyone can do the same thing and everything will be fine, but it's not the case, is it?
And that's what having that local knowledge, and then going and finding, you know, help.
Yeah.
Talking to people, going to field days, go and open your mind when you go to, you know, field days that are a bit alternative. You go, well, I'm not going to shut it down. I'm just going to green light think and see what lands.
Have you had some critical friends that have been important to you?
Yes, I think, you know, along the journey, there's been guys that have been encouraging me. Actually, one guy from the Department of Ag, he's been a good support, and then the Source for Life group, been really good. Like for a few years there, that running farmer groups and, you know, Zoom calls or whatever, and then just following different people, I suppose, on LinkedIn or Facebook, and feeling that just need to educate myself some more in regards to, you know, what we can achieve from the soil, you know, and it's such a complex substrate, you know, from chemical to physical to biological, you know, there's so many things interacting, and it's just a fascinating area. And really, if you can turn dirt into soil, where it's a living thing and cranking along, then, you know, I think that's really sustainable farming. Anyway.
Thank you, mate.
We'll get there. It's all a journey.
It is. It is. And you're a long way along.